From the moment we are born, we are pulled into the same search. Every human heart longs for happiness. We hope for peace. We spend years chasing security, success, love, and joy as if they were treasures just waiting for us to reach out and claim them. We study, we work, we build families and homes, all in the hope that at some point we will finally rest in contentment. And yet, again, and again, the story repeats itself. We achieve our goals, but anxiety lingers. We fall in love, but fear of loss shadows our joy. We grow healthy and strong, but age quietly approaches. Even in the happiest moments, there is always a whisper in the background. This too will pass. The Buddha once said in the Dhammapada, verse 277, all conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. Think of a young professional today, working long hours, pushing for promotions, checking emails late into the night. She believes that once she reaches a certain position, she will finally be at peace. But when the title arrives, the satisfaction lasts only days. Soon the mind says, "What's next?" This is dukkha in modern clothing, the dissatisfaction that never stops whispering. Not enough, not yet. Even pleasure hides sorrow within it. A new phone thrills us for a week and then becomes ordinary. A vacation excites us while it lasts, but brings sadness as soon as it ends. This is not pessimism, only honesty. Like a doctor giving a diagnosis, the Buddha simply pointed to reality. Before we explore the Buddha's answer, let me pause. If these reflections already stir something in you, take a moment to subscribe to your channel Ocean of Mindfulness, like this video, and share it with a friend. That way, more people can walk with us on this path of understanding. More than 2,500 years ago, a young man named Siddhartha Gautama saw this truth so clearly that he gave up everything in order to face it. Born a prince, he was surrounded by luxury and shielded from the harsh realities of the whirl, time 0.5s. But the palace walls could not protect him forever. One day he encountered the old, the sick, and the dead. He saw that no wealth could shield anyone from these conditions. Then he saw another figure, a wandering ascetic, serene despite having nothing, and in that image he glimpsed the possibility of freedom. So he left behind his crown, his riches, and his family. For years he wandered forests and studied under wise teachers. He practiced meditation, mastered deep states of absorption, and pushed his body through extreme austerities. At one point, he nearly starved to death. A story preserved in the scriptures tells that when he collapsed near a river, a village girl named Sujata offered him milk rice. That simple act of kindness revived him, and in that nourishment he saw the futility of extremes. Indulgence did not free the heart, but neither did self-torture. The path had to lie somewhere in between. With this understanding, he sat beneath the Bodhi tree, vowing not to rise until he had pierced through the mystery of existence. Night turned into dawn, and as the morning star rose, his mind opened like the sky after a storm. In that awakening, he saw clearly what he would later call the Four Noble Truths, the universal law of suffering and the path beyond it. The first noble truth is the recognition that life is marked by suffering. In the Samyutta Nikaya, the Buddha said, "Birth is suffering, aging is suffering, death is suffering, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair are suffering. Association with the unpleasant is suffering. Separation from the pleasant is suffering. Not getting what one wants is suffering." He was not exaggerating. He was simply describing life as it is. Think of a man who works for decades to buy his dream house. When he finally moves in, he feels joy. But soon the bills arrive, the roof leaks, the neighbors complain. What once seemed perfect now becomes a source of stress. That is dukkha. Think of a mother whose child grows up and moves far away. Her heart aches with separation, even though she knows this is natural. That too is dukkha. It is the restlessness, the dissatisfaction, the sense that things are never quite as secure or lasting as we want them to be. The second noble truth is samudaya, the cause of suffering. The Buddha saw that pain has roots in craving and ignorance. We crave pleasures, believing they will last. We cling to relationships, to health, to identity, as if they could be permanent. We resist change, even though change is the nature of the universe itself. A man buys a shiny new car and cherishes it, but when someone scratches the paint, anger boils up. The very thing that once brought him joy now becomes a source of pain. This is how craving and clinging create suffering. The Buddha compared craving to a thirsty traveler drinking salt water. The more he drinks, the more his thirst grows. In the same way, the more we grasp, the more restless we become. And beneath craving lies ignorance, the illusion that things are permanent, that we can hold them forever. But here lies the great hope of the third noble truth, Nirodha, the cessation of suffering. The Buddha said, the fading away and cessation of that same craving, this is the cessation of suffering. When craving ends, suffering ends. Imagine unclenching a fist that has held a burning coal. The burn stops the moment you let go. Think of a woman who has built her identity on status. Every promotion fuels her pride, but also her fear of losing it. One day she decides to step back, to stop measuring her worth by titles. In letting go, she feels lighter than ever. That is a glimpse of Nirodha. Parents experience it too when they watch their child sleep, and for a moment, all craving subsides. A meditator feels it when breath is enough and thoughts no longer tug. These small moments are windows into freedom. The fourth noble truth is Magga, the path. The Buddha did not only describe the problem and its cause, he offered a way forward, the Noble Eightfold Path. This path is the middle way between indulgence and self-torture. It is not 8 separate commandments, but 8 aspects of a single practice. It includes wisdom, intention, speech, action, livelihood, effort, mindfulness, and concentration. A young man drowning in anxiety from social media feels worthless compared to the polished images of others. By practicing right view, he realizes those images are illusions. By practicing right mindfulness, he sees how scrolling fuels craving. By practicing right effort, he chooses to put the phone down and meditate. In this way, the path is not theory. It is practice, step by step. After his awakening, the Buddha did not keep silent. He walked to Deer Park near Varanasi, where 5 ascetics lived. There he delivered his first sermon, known as the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. He explained the 4 noble truths and the middle way. As he spoke, their minds cleared like clouds parting. They realized the truth for themselves. They became the first enlightened disciples, and with that moment, the wheel of Dharma began to turn. What makes this story powerful is that the Buddha did not demand belief. He offered a description of reality. When his companions heard it, they recognized its truth in their own lives. The teaching spread not through force, but through resonance. When the human heart hears the truth, it knows. These truths are not relics of ancient India. They are practical today. Consider a nurse working 12-hour shifts. She feels exhausted and resentful, but in a short mindful pause, simply breathing, she notices her exhaustion is not permanent. She lets go of craving for it to disappear, and in that acceptance finds renewal. Consider a couple locked in argument. Each clings to being right. By practicing right speech and right intention, they soften. They release the craving to win, and reconciliation begins. Consider a businessman who loses his fortune in a market crash. At first, despair overwhelms him, but remembering impermanence, he rebuilds with less attachment. These stories show that the Four Noble Truths are not philosophy to memorize. They are tools for daily living. They do not remove difficulty, but they transform the way we meet it. If you are still with me at this point, let me pause again. If this journey has meaning for you, subscribe to Ocean of Mindfulness, share your reflections in the comments, and pass this video to someone who may need it. Wisdom multiplies when it is shared. The Four Noble Truths say that suffering is real, that it has a cause, that the cause can end, and that there is a path. The Dhammapada reminds us, hunger is the worst illness. Conditioned existence is the greatest suffering. For one who truly understands this, nirvana is the highest bliss. These words are not pessimism. They are a compass pointing north. They are a map through the storm of life. Think of the world today. Advertising whispers that you are not enough until you buy more. Social media tells you that your life is smaller than others. Politics stirs fear and anger. Anxiety becomes the air we breathe. The Four Noble Truths cut through this noise. They say, stop running. Look directly at your own experience. See the craving. See the clinging. See the illusion of permanence. And by seeing clearly, begin to release. The teaching is not about escaping the world. It is about walking differently within it, choosing speech that heals instead of wounds, choosing mindfulness when you eat instead of scrolling, choosing compassion when irritation rises. These choices seem small, but they are steps on the path. Each step is a brick building the road to freedom. That is why the Buddha called his teaching the turning of the wheel. Once set in motion, it has never stopped. From monasteries in Myanmar to meditation halls in Europe, from scholars in America to practitioners in Africa, the Four Noble Truths continue to guide. They are not bound to time or place. They are a compass pointing always toward freedom. And so we come full circle. Life is fleeting. Pain is real. But so is peace. So is awakening. The Buddha's discovery was not a religion to worship, but a medicine for the restless heart. The Four Noble Truths are not the end. As the Itivuttaka records, this is peace, this is the highest, namely the stilling of all formations, the relinquishing of all acquisitions, the destruction of craving, dispassion, cessation, nibbana. So when you feel restless, ask, what am I craving? When you feel peace, ask, what have I released? These questions are the keys. If you have walked this journey with me, I invite you once more, subscribe, share, and comment, not for numbers, but to help create a space where wisdom and compassion are louder than noise. 2.5 millennia ago, beneath the Bodhi tree, Siddhartha discovered not an escape, but a way to live free. That gift is alive today. Step across that doorway. Friend is yours to take.